publishing, if you don't know, is like a mix of doing traditionally published work and doing like self-publishing work. So like agented authors that are pursuing traditional publishing but like have their own self-publishing projects, or like self-publishing authors that are established that like start to delve into traditional publishing. It's basically doing a mix of those instead of pursuing one or the other, kind of straight and narrow. And today I'm here with Kess Costales, who is hybrid publishing, and she's gonna delve into the whole thing and talk all about her experience, and then we'll both learn together, because I don't have a lot of experience with self-publishing myself. So now you're an expert, so you can talk about it, and I'll let her introduce herself.
All right, so hi, I am Kess Costales. I am a Filipino-Canadian author based in Toronto who writes novels and now poetry.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. So you are an agented author. I'd love to hear why you decided to delve into hybrid publishing.
So yeah, I am an agented author, so I am currently pursuing traditional publication, but I've also started getting into self-publishing since with my poetry book. So I've been working with an agent for almost 2 years now. I was on sub for about a year before I decided that I wanted to do some self-publishing. And what really pushed me towards that was a pretty big breakup. I was very emotional from the breakup and then all the stuff that was happening in publishing, or I guess not happening. And I wanted to do something that was completely in my control. And so I thought about a way to combine dealing with my emotions from the breakup and coping with waiting and rejection in traditional publication, because that's like a major part of it.
Oh yeah, it's so big. I feel like that's like half the like conversations on Twitter with traditional publishing are like waiting and like being rejected, and that's like such a huge chunk of it, which like makes it seem very depressing and sad, but like that's the reality.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream. You want to get with a big publisher and get your book in the shelves, and get so much people to look at it and see it and get all that different stuff. But I was having a really hard time dealing with all that stuff for leading into getting to traditionally published. And it was really hard seeing other people getting their book deals and their agenting offers and having nothing really to share with people. I had no news, and it was really hard because I was having so much self-doubt following ending a big relationship. And I basically had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And one of the things I wanted to do was get back to a dream that I used to have when I was younger, before I started writing novels in a very serious manner, like actually getting them published. And so I decided that I could step back into doing poetry. And I know for poetry it's hard to get traditionally published. It's something that only really happens if you have a following already, and I don't have that, especially not as a poetry writer. As a poet. As a poet. I am very good with words. So I never thought that would be a dream to make come true until I realized I could take it into my own hands and get it self-published. And so I approached some of my friends about it to figure out how I could make that happen.
And it's very like complementary for like doing novels for traditionally publishing and doing poetry for self-publishing. Like it's a very kind of different medium. You get to kind of like dip your toes into both. You're not just kind of stuck with one. So someone that's delved into both pools, I'd love to hear like what are the pros and cons of traditional publishing in your experience, and what are the pros and cons of self-publishing in your experience?
Well, for traditional publishing, the main issue with it is that there is a lot of waiting and rejection. As I said earlier, you're waiting at first for an agent to make you an offer of representation, and then once you get that agent, you have to go through rounds of revision, and then you have to go on sub, and then you're waiting for editors. And you're not just waiting for the editors; you're waiting for the whole team to decide if they want to do that. So, and then it's never guaranteed. You're going to face a lot of rejection along the way. But as a traditionally published author, you have your agent helping you, you have your editor, you have your editorial team, you get a publicist, you get marketing, someone else takes care of the cover and the events. So there's a lot that you don't have to deal with, and you just get to focus on the writing. And you get an offer for a book from a publisher. So you get a certain amount of money that they're going to give to you right away as like a certainty that what you're going to make off of that book.
Yeah.
Which is different from self-publishing. So self-publishing, the biggest con, I guess, is that you are doing most of the stuff on your own. It's not just the writing. You don't have a team to back you up, so you have to figure out the cover, the marketing, the editing, all the little details that come with putting a book together. That's on you to decide. But for the prose, it's your writing, it's your project. You get to keep your vision for it, however you want it to be. You have control over when it's coming out, how much it's going to cost, where it's going to be sold, and all the things that are usually someone else's control.
Yeah.
Someone else's
job. Someone else's duty.
All the stuff that's usually someone else's job becomes your job. So that's something to have to deal with. But it is really rewarding to have your work as your vision out there. And it's really rewarding to see how much work you've put in coming together. And that satisfaction of like, this is entirely your project.
Yeah, you've done everything.
It's really good. Gives you a really good feeling after all that self-doubt that you can get from trying to be published traditionally. And that was like a major thing for me, that I get to be proud of my work again and feel confident of working on something completely different from my novels and getting able to see myself as a writer in a different way and just like rekindle my hope.
Yeah, and you have your accomplishment, right? Like you're not waiting for publishing to give you that accomplishment. You're like getting that yourself, and you have it, and you can feel good and great about it. Especially like after like waiting on publishing for that, right?
Yeah. And I was talking to our mutual friend June Her.
Yes.
Pre-order her book Silence of Bones.
I will link it.
Yeah. So we're talking about the pressures of a debut year and how I basically took that pressure off of myself because I am technically in my debut year.
Yeah.
So all that stuff about getting your book out there, other people reading your work, and doing an event, I've basically already done with it.
Yeah.
And so that was really nice to have to not worry so much about the long period of waiting and the anxiety that comes with the debut year because I did it myself.
Yeah. You're not like waiting like two years ahead of time. Like,
so,
oh my God.
When I get traditionally published, I know how to deal with it.
Yes. You'll be prepared.
I already have a book on shelves that people are reading.
Yeah.
So it's like a little bit less stress from when I one day get my book deal.
Yeah. You're not like panicked like everybody else, like the rest of us running around like with our head cut off in our debut groups. Like, I don't know what's happening. Please help me. Anyway, not at all personal experience. What? Please tell us about your book and where people can grab a copy if they would like it.
So this is my book. It's called So Says the Heart. It is my poetry collection that looks at love, including heartbreak and friendship, romance, and family. And it's divided into two sections. The first part is loss, which deals with all like the hurting involved with love. The second part is about love, so all the positive feelings that you could have. I know some people say that the first part is really sad. So if you don't want to read something sad right away, you can just skip to the other half. And you can absorb it as you are comfortable and read it through whatever you feel like reading at that time for your mood. I've also written some prose and poetry in different ways in hopes that if you don't like a certain style for poetry, then you might have another one that appeals to you. And poetry can be really personal. This book is very personal to me since it was part of my healing process. And so I just hope there's one thing that gets someone right in the heart and gets them in their feels.
Yeah. If you cry, it's not bad. So happy or sad.
Yeah.
Perfect. And where can they purchase it if they want to purchase it?
So at the moment, it is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and IndieBound. I'm working on getting it in shelves at Chapters and Indigo at stores. I just have to figure out how that's going to go. But you can also buy it as an ebook on Kobo. There's both the options for paperback and ebooks. And soon I'll be working on getting an Etsy store open so that if you wanted to purchase a signed copy, I can get that done for you. And then we'll see what else happens. But so far, those are your options, and Lizelle will get those links in.
Exactly. And I'll also have links to all of Kess's social media so that you can follow her on social media. You can learn more about her poetry book and the whole poetry collection, and also about her traditionally publishing journey. You can learn all of that, and you take great photos, and it's wonderful. So you should follow her. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions for Kess about hybrid publishing, feel free to comment below with it, or to just like message her on social or comment on social.
Yeah, I'm very open. I'm happy to answer any questions and help anyone on their journey. You and I did a mentorship program, so we're very happy to help up-and-coming writers. So don't be shy if you want to shoot me a message.
Perfect, exactly. Yeah. And if you haven't subscribed to me already, please subscribe below for more content like this, more other writing and publishing and some book content. You can find all of that on my channel. I post every Tuesday and Friday. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.